This jewel in the crown of Royal Caribbean International was built in the chilly shipyards of Finland, but destined to spend her days in these far more balmy waters.
She's the third biggest cruise liner in the world, and she's called the Allure of the Seas. And isn't she simply breathtaking? We're sailing from the beautiful skyline of Florida straight to the Caribbean islands.
There's a whole
so much
Central Park. They've got Central Park on the ship. There's like a zipline, you can go over the top like
Jonathan, we've
There's
started and
there's like a thing where you can surf.
we've started, and there's so much to do.
You start without me?
Yes.
Did you steal my Titanic thing?
The Titanic is this big.
If the Titanic is that big, this ship is 5 times bigger than the Titanic. So that's how big this ship is compared to the Titanic. Why are you wearing heels?
And there's so much to do,
you
because
Just
I
get
still
on
need
here.
to look fabulous.
Just get on, yeah. We've got too much to do for this.
Accommodating 5,492 guests, the ship still feels incredibly spacious.
Can you actually believe we're on a ship right now?
We're actually moving, and I can't feel a thing.
Yeah, we're going at about 22 knots, 40 k's an hour. You cannot feel anything. There's no rocking from side to side, which I was a bit nervous about. I get a little
No being seasick, yeah.
We're on the Royal Promenade now. This kind of runs through the center of the ship, fashioned around a traditional seaside promenade. There's authentic street paving, there's lampposts, there's 24-hour coffees, pizza shops, authentic English pubs. There's even a car in the middle of the ship on the promenade.
Listen, what I love about this part of the ship is that the party never has to stop, and lots and lots and lots to do, and very little time.
You're gonna eye a handbag, I see.
Yeah.
I really see you got your eyes on that. I'm eyeing a slice of pizza, so
Yeah.
we'll do a cross.
Okay.
I'll see you later.
Named after a town in Italy, Sorrentos is an authentic New York City pizzeria, which serves complimentary slices to guests until late at night.
So good.
Shop till you drop, literally.
With the top brands and designer boutiques on board, you could be on Fifth Avenue.
There's definitely something for everyone. So much shopping to do, such variety. Allure of the Seas has my heart.
All right, this is just what you need when you're arriving on this ship, because it's too much to take in. The scale of it all is overwhelming. You need a nice model to get yourself orientated and see what it has to offer. The ship is nearly 400 meters long, which means that Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world, would take close to a minute to get from one side to the other. There's just too much to mention. There's swimming pools, jacuzzis, sports facilities, helicopter landing pads, nearly 3,000 rooms. 2 things I've noticed which have caught my attention. Epic sundowner spots. We got one right at the front of the boat chair. It kind of juts out over the thing. We can do a little Titanic moment there. And then there's a jacuzzi here, which is jutting out over the edge of the boat. That's a spot we've got to find for a sundowner.
When you want your own space, the ocean view staterooms are a dream.
It's time now to see my bedroom. Wow, absolutely beautiful. What I absolutely love about being on a cruise liner is that you don't have to go without your comfort. It's absolutely spacious, the bed is beautiful and comfortable, and that view, absolutely breathtaking.
Meals or sundowners can be served on your private balcony. Or to spread your wings, you can head for a spa bath like no other.
And just like that is the end of day 1 of our perfect adventure. And what a great day it's been out here at the Allure of the Sea.
Yeah, we're literally floating above the ocean right now in this hot tub. Remember that spot that I scouted out on a little model ship? Well, we're here. We've ticked off one of those items to see. Cocktails are on the way. Bermuda, Bahama,
There's no better place to take in this warmest part of the Atlantic. With countless swimming pools on board, dive instructors can get you scuba ready. Or, for a change of scene from the ocean, there's a little piece of Manhattan.
I'm singing in the rain, just sing. Awesome.
This is absolutely beautiful.
In the middle of the ocean.
It's inspired by Central Park in Manhattan, New York, and it's absolutely beautiful. For some peace and quiet, you can hear the birds chirping, healthy food options, beautiful cafes, and of course some more shopping.
And it's all real. Those are actual birds. These are actual plants. It's not fake. There's 36 trees. There's thousands of different plant species. It's quite mind-blowing to think that we're on a ship right now.
It's actually crazy.
It's so romantic. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Complete the picture. And sing in the rain.
The most outstanding show is the one you don't see. the galley of executive chef Stefan Jandot.
Stefan, we were doing some calculations earlier.
Yep.
So currently on board there are about 9,000 people. That's including the guests and the crew and staff.
Yep.
Eating roughly 4 meals a day.
Yep.
That's 36,000 meals per day. How do you do that?
Well, we have 344 crew that's involved in galley operations. Downstairs in our provision areas, we have preparation kitchens where obviously we do chicken production, we do our meat cutting down there, fish cutting.
You're feeding a small country, basically.
Basically, yeah, it's a town. It's a floating town.
Do you ever just kind of sit back and say to yourself, how did I do this?
When everything's over, the adrenaline is kind of going down, and you scratch your head and go, we just did 40,000 meals.
Catering to every other interest is cruise director Mitch Marucci.
What sets Royal Caribbean International apart?
I think what sets us apart from all the other cruise lines is we're known as the innovation and cruise industry leaders when it comes to cutting-edge technology. First ships to ever have a Royal Promenade, the first ships to have ice skating rinks, to have rock climbing walls, to have the skydiving at sea. Also, we have the biggest ships in the world, which is pretty cool, and carry the most guests as well.
The quest is to keep creating new experiences and always to be the first to do so.
You have the first ever floating bar, or we call it the Rising Tide, the first ever boardwalk with the handcrafted carousel, which is popular among young kids and of course kids at heart. So guests can expect all different kinds of experiences, and the 7 different neighborhoods are really a great way to make sure that families, singles, couples, anybody that comes on the ship will have a great time.
Constantly creative, this cruise line looked at the wonder they'd produced and thought only one thing was missing: ziplining, courtesy of João Ribeiro.
On deck 16 we have the Zipline. The zipline goes all the way from deck 16 to deck 15. It's an 83-foot long zipline, and you can actually see 10 decks down. So it's a little bit scary the first times, but you guys will be great, okay?
So it's not our first rodeo ziplining, but certainly the first on a ship. Pretty exciting stuff, 25 meters high.
If you look down, it looks a lot more than 25 meters. It feels like 100 meters when you're looking down, your feet are hanging over the edge. It's a very surreal feeling being on a ship, ziplining, and kind of moving on the ocean at the same time. It's completely surreal, it's proper adrenaline stuff.
To their credit, João and his activities team offer this thrilling ride over the boardwalk as part of your cruise with no extra charge or reservation required.
Well done, Jonathan.
Yeah, baby,
I was really worried about you.
Why? We're living life out here on this ship, baby. We're living life.
Who knew you could zipline on a ship?
Or do this. The surf's always up on the Flow Rider Surf Simulator, with 30,000 gallons of rushing awesomeness coming at you. If you are Usain Bolt, there's an onboard track to run with outstanding views. For those who missed it on Broadway or the West End, the ship also just happens to boast a full stage production of Mamma Mia. When the journey is this good, the destination has a lot to live up to.